Hey, welcome back to the Board Game Closet. My name's Jimmy.
I'm Rod.
And today we are looking at the second edition of Mission Red Planet. It's put out by Fantasy Flight Game, plays 2 to 6 people in roughly 45 to 90 minutes. You are essentially shooting off rockets to Mars to try to control the planet and its resources, and whoever gets the most at the end wins the game.
Colonize.
There we go. So, let's take a look and see what you get in the box. All right. All right, so this is what you get in the box with Mission Red Planet. Rod, let's talk about components.
Sure. There's a pretty good amount of components here. This is, again, Fantasy Flight game. We tend to, with Fantasy Flight, there's really good quality in what you buy normally with the company, and this continues that. So, like, for instance, when it comes to the artwork, very much enjoy the artwork.
It's pretty cool.
Each of the cards is a decent size, because sometimes I do know with Fantasy Flight they tend to get really small.
They do have some of them in here. They got the little ones here.
I did have to use the magnifying glass.
Literally, he means literally.
Literally, it was. And that was with my glasses on. It was just weird, but other than that, I think the pieces themselves. I mean, you have the little MTV space guys.
That's what they look like. Yeah, old school '80s
exactly.
MTV.
Exactly. And these are you're colonizing. Yeah, what you said.
That word, colonizing.
Exactly. At different parts of Mars. And what was the other part that we're doing? Is Mars and something else?
Phobos, which is like the moon.
Exactly. And so when it comes to the pieces, I mean, good quality. The tokens are nice and thick. Cards are going to hold up. The pieces are well made. I mean, each piece is the same, but they got color coordinated for each team. Mm-hmm. There's a good amount of pieces. So all in all, a very, very good job. And they kind of do that steampunk, to me, I guess it's steampunk type feel to it.
Oh, yeah.
I think the artwork's fantastic.
Yeah, they got a cool little round counter, and it's a cool little feel to it. So awesome. Okay, so let's talk about rules. How hard or easy is it to learn to play this game? I'd say it's kind of, I don't know, it's not a hard game at all. It's not difficult. It's not really even medium. I'd say it's definitely more easy. Right. Once you just learn, everybody has the same cards, and so once you learn what all those cards do, you learn a turn order, it goes pretty fast, and they've got a reference for that on the back. So I actually watched a video on this. I think it was a Watch It Played video, and then I just I flipped through the rules, and I was ready to go. So I think you could probably pretty confidently jump into this game and get going. Okay, so let's talk about how the game plays, so you can figure out if this is a game that works for you and your gaming group. So each player of the game is going to get a deck of cards that has abilities. Now, I need to tell you right up front, because this is important for you and your gaming group, is there is some sabotage in this game. There's some backstabbing. There could be some, why are you messing with me, stuff going on. Right. So if you're not into that, then maybe this isn't a game for you. Sure. Another game that I would actually compare some of the sabotage to is a game called Survive, Escape from Atlantis. There's a lot of backstabbing that goes on in that game, but it's lighthearted. It's not that bad. And it's either I take out your guys or you win. So I'm taking you out. It's that kind of a feel to it. So this is a game where everybody has the same cards, right? Like 1 through 9. And so each one of these cards do something different. And so on your turn, you're going to choose a card to play, and somebody's going to count down. They're going to say 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And when they get to your card, you flip it over. So multiple people could play the same card at the same time, but you turn your card over and then you do the action that's on the card. So the basic premise of the game is you're going to have these rockets that are going to be launching. And so depending on the number of players for the game, there's rockets to go along with that. And then these rockets are coordinated to a place on Mars. And so you are going to play cards that will allow you to load up your little astronaut dudes onto these things. And each one of these cards will tell you, like, to go to Hellas, it takes 4 astronauts. And so when 4 astronauts are on this thing, it launches, right? Takes off. And then once you launch them, then you would find where Hellas is on this board, and you place your astronauts there. If it's your first time there, then you will turn over a resource token. So that means that on Hellas, you have this little pink crystal resource. And that's how this works. So as you go throughout the game and you land astronauts on it, you're going to find out what these resources are on that planet, right? And there's also Phobos, the moon, where you could send people to. And so you're going to be playing cards, and we'll go over some of these real quickly. So like if you play 9, it says place 1 astronaut in a docked ship and return all character cards to your hand. So that's like a reset. And so once you play a card, it has to stay out on the board until you play the recruiter, which gets them all back into your hand. And so if you're saving the recruiter to the end, you're going to be slowly playing all of your cards round after round. Like that until you can get them all back. So that's what the recruiter does. You've got the scientist where you can place 2 astronauts, the secret agent where you place 2 astronauts in 2 different ships, and you force a ship that is not yet full to launch. So there is one called the saboteur, which it says place 1 astronaut in a docked ship and destroy 1 docked ship.
That's awesome.
Oh, the horror. So some dude has loaded up all of his guys onto this one, and he's planning on launching it soon, and poof, all of these guys disappear to outer space or whatever, lost space or whatever they call it.
Lost in space, huh?
Lost in space. And so each one of these cards basically does some combination of that. It could be moving characters around the board. It could be moving characters onto these ships, launching them, different things like that. You can even change the destination of a ship. So they have all these tokens. Right. And so you could say, okay, here's this one says it's going to Phobos, and you've loaded up all your dudes on it, and now, haha, I'm going to change it, and now it's going to some other place. Because there are scoring mechanisms in the game, right? So there's 3 opportunities in the game where you're going to score points. And so when it comes time to score, whoever has the most dudes in a region gets the points for that. And they escalate, right? At the beginning, it's 1 token. The second time, there's 2 tokens. The third time, there's 3 tokens. And so it builds as the game goes on. And so although you might have control of Hellas at the beginning, at the end, it could be taken over. Somebody could move your dudes or whatever, and then you might not control it anymore. And so the third round could be way more valuable than the first round. And so that's really how the game goes. There's a Monopoly card for whoever has the most ice, and there's different mission cards that you can play where you could slide a mission card up under a region of the board and it changes something there. So it could be like all of your dudes on here only count as 1 this time, you know, and so that's really mean to do.
But when you slide something down there, you got to remember what you put down there, because sometimes we forget.
We forget. That's very, very true. Anyways, that's really the basic idea where you're playing these cards. The great thing about the cards is everybody has the same exact cards. So when he plays the Saboteur card, you know he can't play that again until he plays the number 9 and gets the Recruiter back. So you can kind of gauge whether or not what you think somebody might be doing. And so that's really fun.
90 minutes, right?
Yeah, at the max, 90
minutes, up to 6 players, which is nice.
That is nice.
Because it's nice being able to play more than 4, because it seems like a lot of games are set at 4. Mm-hmm. So, and the more players in this game, the better. Mm-hmm. I really do think that it just, when you play with a lower amount of players, there's less... I don't know, there's less backstabbing, there's less, you know, there's always...
And you take it more personal, right? There's 2 of us, like, who am I going to do this to you but you know?
Right. Yeah, I mean, the more players in this game, the more fun. This is a very casual, but, you know, there's strategy involved and stuff with that. And, of course, there's a little backstabbing, so, but it is a casual game.
Yeah, totally. I totally agree with that. Right. So, all right, so at the end of our reviews, we like to do a simple 1-die rating. Should you buy it, play it, or hate it? So green means go buy this game and add it to your collection. Right. White means maybe you wouldn't buy it, but you definitely play it. And then red means you won't buy it because you hate it. So you get your decision out there and reveal 2 greens.
2 greens.
And an honorary red for Tim, right?
Yeah.
Tim didn't like this one.
No, he didn't. So I'll go ahead and say why I like green. Yeah. So I was kind of bordering on white, and the only reason is because like Jimmy owns the game, right? So am I going to go out and buy it tomorrow? Maybe not, but we have it in our overall library of games. This is to me, this is a must-have in the library of games. Mm. So if you guys do not have it in your game group, somebody get out there and go buy it. It's not expensive. You know, we talked about it. Not terribly, yeah. Yeah, it's not an expensive game. Quality and well-made game. Entertaining game. And then how many games, I mean, really, how many games stick with the 90 minutes? This one pretty much is really good about that. I've played so many games that are 90 minutes and it'd be 3 hours. This one does do well with the 90 minutes.
Totally. I originally saw this when it was the first edition. It went out of print, and so I was actually searching, trying to trade some guys or pay some more money to get the original. Then I heard that this one was coming. I put on the brakes and I said, I'm just going to wait for it. I'm glad I did. I actually love the artwork and the style of this better than the original. I know some people don't, but I do. I like the way that it looks. Sure. And there's something about the main mechanic of this game to me is the scoring points and how it goes up. And so to me, I really like that style game because I know that it's not just the end of the game and then it's over, but I've got moments throughout the game where I'm trying to build up. And then those last minute maneuvers where you can play your cards and move that guy there, destroy that ship, do that there, haha, now I take over all this stuff that you thought you had control of. I don't know why, that does it for me.
This game does lend what you're saying. It lends to the strategy aspect of it, building up to this climax, and you're like, is it going to work or is it not? And, what is that guy doing to stop it? And right at the very end, we find out, boom, 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 boom. And then you find out that this guy did this, or you forgot a card was in here, or something, and boom, then we find out who wins. And it's fun.
Yeah, it is fun. So. Anyway, so there you go. That's our review of Mission Red Planet. We got a lot more reviews on our website, BoardGameCloset.com, or on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of those. And as always,
support your local hobby shop.
Woo-hoo.
All right, guys.